Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616. So, last week we got a huge flurry of news about Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus series all at once. That hashtag show posted some plot rumors right alongside the announcement of a new showrunner for Vision and the Scarlet Witch, and a new series following Lady Sif. On top of that, the person who originally posted the rumors regarding Loki also revealed that we can expect some kind of news regarding Marvel Television in April. And as if all of that wasn't enough, recently a bunch of potential plot and casting details leaked for Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus projects to 4chan. There's no way of validating if these are real or not, but they certainly line up with a lot of recent rumors, and really they just sound believable. Some people have come forward saying that they are probably real, but that they are subject to change. These are all just early plans. So some of these may happen, and some of these may not happen. They each sound really cool though, to the point where I actually hope they're real. So I'll be going over all of Marvel's Disney Plus shows and what we know about them, including ones that maybe haven't been announced yet but were listed on this leak. One thing that is interesting to note here, however, is that I don't believe Nick Fury was listed among them. This is rumored to be one of the Disney Plus series in development, but perhaps that was just a rumor after all. Okay, so first up, Loki. This is probably the longest gestating Disney Plus series, and perhaps the most hyped one. It was one of the first announced, and some very interesting new details have come out about it lately. There used to be a lot of debates over when this series would be set. Would it be before the first Thor, on Sakaar during Ragnarok, or in between the Dark World and Ragnarok when Loki was ruling Asgard disguised as Odin? The new report says that it's none of these, but instead the series is set in the past, long before the first Thor movie. It reportedly follows a young teenage Loki, with Tom Hiddleston narrating the series. Apparently he'll be reflecting on his life from the afterlife, after his death at the hands of Thanos. The 4chan user has offered some cool insights into this. Reportedly the main choice to play a younger Loki at the moment is Fionn Whitehead, star of Dunkirk and most recently Black Mirror Bandersnatch. He's the perfect choice, and he's a rising star too, so it makes sense. But the leak also says that some other Asgardians will return. Odin will be there, but in voice only. It makes sense. I can't imagine they'd be able to get Anthony Hopkins to come down for a series like this. It's also said they may have a young Thor as well. Not many plot details are given other than the main villain will be Karnilla, an Asgardian sorceress, alongside Ulik, king of the trolls. She has a history of teaming up with Loki, so I imagine this could be one of his earliest plots to take over Asgard. There's no telling when this series might come out. Reports have said it could be by the end of 2019, but that's looking less and less likely now that we're halfway through January. It's certainly possible, but considering they haven't even so much as set a showrunner, I'm not so sure. Personally, I'm banking this for early 2020. Next up is Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Last week, it was reported that Jack Schaefer has joined as the showrunner. She's worked with Marvel in the past on Captain Marvel and Black Widow as screenwriter. It was also said that the series could draw inspiration from Tom King's famous and absolutely fantastic run on The Vision. The leak provides some new insight into this. According to the leaker, this appears to have the most fleshed out plot, so I think we could definitely see this come first. I'm personally expecting it for a November-December 2019 release. This is backed up by the fact that Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen both have completely free schedules all year, as far as we know. Apparently, it will follow Vision and Wanda settling down in some suburbs in New York. Vision will remain in his human form mostly, and is described as being cold and emotionless. There have been lots of theories that Shuri has some form of Vision's mind left that she can use to bring him back, but it may just be the most critical part that's missing. Wanda will desperately try and use magic to give him a soul, but it backfires big time with him being possessed by an evil spirit. I'd love to see them embrace Wanda's more supernatural side, so I hope this is true. I'm thinking this could be Chthon, an ancient demon who has a history with Wanda, but the series will also feature Agatha Harkness, a character with secrets about Wanda's past. Perhaps they could use her to start planting seeds towards a certain mutant father. Also, there will be a villain with one of their neighbors, who despises the two of them and rallies the neighborhood against them. It's said that he may end up becoming the Grim Reaper. In that case, his name would be Eric Williams. Tonally, the series is said to be much less action-heavy, more focused on atmosphere and drama, which I really love. I'd love to see a creepier Marvel project, and while sure they can't go full-on adult on Disney+, maybe they can still be a little edgier than the movies. Next up, Falcon and Winter Soldier. This series has brought on Malcolm Spellman as the showrunner. I think we could see it around spring to summer 2020. There were a lot of rumors in the past that the series would explore the legacy of Captain America, but this doesn't seem to be the case. It sounds much more interesting to me personally. It will feature S.H.I.E.L.D. recruiting Sam and Bucky to take down an organization known as Ultimatum. In the comics, they basically want to tear down civilization and make a new world order. They're led by the aptly named Flag Smasher. It's also said the two of them will have to deal with U.S. agent as well, a Captain America wannabe who isn't always on the right side of things. This series is said to be a classic spy thriller, full of action and twists. Lots of common MCU faces are reportedly being looked at to return: Nick Fury, General Ross, Agent 13, and I'd bet Maria Hill too. One interesting thing here is that it's said to be heavily tied into Phase 4 of the MCU. What that means we'll have to see, but it's certainly interesting. Next, Lady Sif. This is the newest of the announced series, so this is what you'd expect from a Sif series. It reportedly follows Sif after being banished from Asgard by Loki. We don't have any details on where she goes or what she does, other than she'll meet Beta Ray Bill, and the main villain is the Enchantress. I would have preferred Bill to meet Thor, and who knows, maybe he still could, but this is still a good place for him to show up. The report also says that Marvel's having some scheduling difficulties with this one, so it could be a while before we see this. Alright, now we start to get into the unconfirmed, rumored zone. Some of the series they mention here haven't been announced yet, and others have had little to no info given about them. First of all, there's Rocket and Groot, which was more or less announced. We don't know anything here other than it will assumedly show how they met. It was previously reported that there was a Hawkeye project in development at Marvel, but this leak tells us it's a Disney Plus series, and gives us some pretty interesting details. The series will see Clint coming out of retirement, again, to help train a new archer on the scene, Kate Bishop. She's apparently gotten into some trouble with the Hood and his criminal organization. The Hood, aka Parker Robbins, is a criminal who has a magical cloak and a set of boots which draw power from Dormammu in the Dark Dimension. So this series could very well have a little supernatural twist to it. It's also said that Trickshot is involved in some way, although they aren't sure if it's his brother, Barney Barton, or Buck Chisholm. Just for the sake of dramatic stakes, I'm gonna say it'll probably be his brother. Next is a previously unannounced series, but intriguing nonetheless, War Machine. Although it's noted that this is the most unsure of all the series, it's said to be a sci-fi thriller following Rhodey trying to stop Stark Tech from being stolen to be used for cyborg enhancements. There's no word on who is stealing it. It's said the series will go more into Rhodey's life outside of Tony Stark, introducing his girlfriend, his sister, his friends, etc., etc. I'd personally love to see this. I've always felt like War Machine doesn't get nearly the love he deserves. I mean, he's really awesome. No telling if this is a prequel or not, it could really go either way. There is a large period of time where War Machine was just working for the US government, so it could be set during that time. Here is a list of all the other Marvel properties said to be being looked at for Disney Plus in this leak. They didn't give any real details about the rest of them. Agent 13, Okoye, Nebula, some prequel series following the Ravagers, and Hank Pym, and it's said that they are even considering introducing new characters here, characters not quite movie material. Specifically mentioned are Moon Knight and the Sentry. I'd personally love to see Blue Marvel get a series for that matter, just saying. And it's also noted that the X-Men will be a big part of Disney Plus's plans as well. The Twitter thread I got all this from specifically used a picture of the X Factor as an example. Alright, so my thoughts. I love almost all of these. I don't want an Agent 13 show, I will admit. I've just never been interested in that character at all. I'd much rather a Mockingbird series, to be honest. They could just bring back Adrian Palicki for this. I just feel like there's nothing Sharon Carter could uniquely bring to the table that 30 other Marvel spy characters could. I really would love to see series for Okoye and the Ravagers. I'd love to get more of a feel of what the day-to-day life is like in Wakanda. And I'd love some more Yondu, of course. They could even have Wyatt Oleff come back as young Peter Quill. It does make me wonder with the James Gunn fiasco if Sean Gunn would be willing to come back for this as Kraglin, but they could probably work around it if he wasn't willing to. I'm okay with the Nebula series. I've always personally felt like her history with Thanos is best left implied rather than shown. It's just more impactful that way, in my opinion. But who knows, maybe this would be set in the present or something like that. There's certainly potential here. And I love the idea of the Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne prequel. It'd be really awesome if it was called Tales to Astonish. There's this giant period of the MCU in between 1948 and 1991 that is just full of all sorts of crazy things, and this series could give us a glimpse into that. And of course, I love the idea of Moon Knight and Sentry. They're both kind of similar in the sense that they're, well, insane. So it makes sense for them to have series as opposed to movies, so that they can be explored in a more in-depth manner. This all sounds amazing, and of course, there's an endless list of other properties I'd love to see. I've already mentioned Blue Marvel, but how about America Chavez, Ghost Rider and Blade, Gambit, maybe a Thanos prequel series? They could even reboot the Inhumans here. The possibilities are absolutely limitless. So, with all that said, what do you guys think? What characters would you like to see get the Disney Plus treatment? And what do you think of the shows on this list? Are you liking what you're hearing so far? Do you have any hopes for these upcoming series? Let me know all your thoughts and theories in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more. The Punisher Season 2 is hitting this Friday. I'll have a review for that this weekend, so definitely don't miss that. And apparently the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is finally hitting tomorrow, so of course I'll do a trailer breakdown for that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.